Hey there, my wedding planning friends, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thanks so much for clicking on my video. I'm Emily Summer. I'm a wedding planner based in Montana, and I make weekly videos on wedding planning tips and advice. So I've done videos on pretty much every vendor and the questions you should ask before booking that vendor, except for hiring a wedding planner. So today's video is all about the 6 questions you should ask a potential wedding planner before officially booking them. When it comes to searching for a wedding planner, everyone operates slightly differently, and whether that's in their planning process, their design process, or their communication style, you want to make sure that you are finding a wedding planner that is going to mesh well with you and your expectations and what you are looking for from a wedding planner. So the first question to ask is to ask more specifics about what the design and other planning processes will look like, and is it expected to be collaborative? Are they a planner that prefers to work collaboratively, or are they somebody that prefers to work with their couples being a little bit more hands-off? Prior to asking this question, you want to make sure that you are fully understanding what your needs and what your desires are from a wedding planner as well, and how you want to operate with them. So are you somebody that wants to kind of pass off the tasks and be a little bit more hands-off and not have to make a bunch of decisions in the planning process or be asked a lot of questions, and you trust their expertise? Maybe you don't have a ton of specific visions or things that you really want specifically for your wedding, and you trust kind of their overall design and aesthetic and plans to make it happen, and you just want a little bit of touch base, in the process here and there. Or maybe you are somebody that expects to be collaborative. You want to kind of sign off on every decision that is going to be made. You want your planner to bring you some options, and then you will have the final say in which direction you go. So understanding how you operate as a person and as a planner, and then being able to bring that to a potential wedding planner and have that conversation and make sure that your needs and your expectations are going to match. Number 2 is to ask for a portfolio of similar weddings, either similar weddings in style or similar weddings done under whatever umbrella of budget or package price you are working with. So again, every planner is a little bit different in how they charge for things and how they price things out, and maybe you are hiring a planner that is working under an umbrella of a specific number and going to produce everything in your wedding within that number. So seeing a portfolio of a wedding that's done within a similar budget might be helpful for you on what to expect to get out of your wedding for a similar guest count and a similar budget. Or maybe you just want to be able to see other examples of weddings that have been done by this planner that are kind of a similar aesthetic or similar style and vibe and setup to make sure that they can achieve what it is that you are looking for. These days, most people's websites and social media is a great form of a portfolio as well, but if you're not seeing enough of a particular style, it never hurts to ask to see more. Number 3, ask if they have a team. So you want to make sure that if you are asking a lot of a wedding planner, if you are having a rather large wedding and they are going to be doing a lot of the design, a lot of the setup on the day of, you want to make sure that they have the capacity to fulfill your needs. So myself, I have 3 assistants that I kind of swap through depending on the size of the wedding. If it's a larger wedding, I will have all 3 on staff, and between the 4 of us, we can accomplish pretty much anything. And sometimes I'll just bring 1. And typically I always go to a wedding regardless of the size, unless it's a super micro wedding. Typically, I always have at least 1 assistant with me. It is so nice to be able to have somebody that can continually work on tasks when I'm being pulled in a bunch of different directions once vendors start arriving, or if members of the bridal party or family members have questions and I need to step away from whatever I'm working on. It's nice to have somebody there in my place that can just continue working on whatever it is I'm working on. So ideally, you want to work with somebody that has at least 1 assistant with them so that you can be assured that everything is going to get done and you don't have to worry about them being pulled in different directions and having to take care of not only guest management and vendor management, but also anything that's going to be needed to get done on site as well. Number 4, ask them if they have set packages or if there's any flexibility. So again, every planner is different. I don't really have any set packages. I have kind of tiers of planning. The only set package is my day of coordinating. That pretty much always stays the same. There isn't really a whole lot of wiggle room in there as far as price or what's included. The only thing that changes is an additional travel cost or add-on of teardown service. So that pretty much always stays the same. Outside of that, we go into partial planning, coordinating and design, or full service planning. Now within those, there is some flexibility to kind of build out a custom package that works best for my couples. So knowing if you are having to fit yourself into a specific box with your planner, or if there's going to be some flexibility to pick and choose what's going to be best suited for you. Number 5, ask them what their communication style is and their preferred means of communication. Again, it's a good idea to kind of have your desires and expectations already solidified before asking this question to make sure that they are somebody that's going to mesh with how you communicate in your preferred means of communication. So asking what their planning process is like. Do they have an online portal that they can refer to that has everything organized? Do they send emails to you to check in? Do they have specific calls or in-person meetings to check in? How often do those happen? Are you somebody that prefers to talk on the phone no matter what? You don't really like to have email back and forth. Things are going to get lost in the email, or vice versa. You don't want to ever really hop on a call unless you absolutely have to. You want to have everything in writing. You have a super busy schedule and you're able to check your emails throughout the workday. Whatever is going to work best for you, make sure that you are hiring a planner that will also match and that will work well for the both of you as well. And finally, number 6, do you have preferred vendors that you either must work with or choose to work with? So this goes for some venues and other vendors as well. Most will have a preferred list of vendors that they prefer to work with. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to hire those vendors. However, some venues will have a list of vendors that they require you to work with. Typically, this is a caterer, maybe sometimes a DJ because they know the space, whatever that is. Ask your planner if they also have a preferred list of vendors and if you have access to that. Pretty much any planner is going to be able to give you a list of their preferred vendors. Again, doesn't mean you have to hire them, and most will have a couple within each category, so you still have a little bit of flexibility there. But they're also going to be a huge resource for this. So being able to use vendors that your planner can recommend to you and know they are trustworthy and they have worked with them before and have had good experiences working with them, it's not only going to be something to benefit your planner, but also for you. As you know, they are a vetted and trusted wedding vendor. If you're planning to hire a wedding planner, this is going to be the wedding vendor that you are going to work most closely with, probably for the longest amount of time, and have the most communication with. So you want to make sure that you are choosing somebody that is going to be right for you and your partner throughout the whole wedding planning process. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe to get weekly videos on wedding planning tips and advice, and we'll see you next week.